Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela here today. Lovely to have you. Today we're going to make something that I'm going to call an envelope flip out and tuck spot. I think that's what I'm going to call it. So I'd just like to welcome all the new subscribers to my channel. Lovely to have all of you. Thank you for joining. I hope you learn a few things and are inspired. And to all my long-standing, very encouraging and very supportive existing subscribers, hello to you too, because you know, ladies, I couldn't do this without you. Right, so let's get started. Today we're going to use some book pages. So I have a couple of these. It's the Reader's Digest Complete Library of the Garden. I love these pages, and they've got this beautiful wooden cover as well. I like using these because they've got a nice cream color. It is about botanical type of things. Some of them are beautiful, well, they're all beautiful, but some of them have a lot of writing on, like for example this. So I thought I'd use these and show you, give you an idea of what you can do with book pages. I know we all have a lot of them. So let's put this away. Right, so I've pulled out a book page here. In fact, I've clipped it from the middle, as you do, so it is a double page. Paper on this is quite a good quality, so that's really great. But I'm pretty much going to use this page over here so that I can do something with the design that I want to sort of put on it. So what I suggest you do is take a page like this, take your glue stick. To be honest, Yoo-Hoo's not the greatest glue stick because it can make your paper warp. So, but anyway, for the purposes of what I'm going to do, I've used it many times and it does work, but not my ideal. If you've got something else, rather use that, if I'm honest. Stick the page together, which is easy when you've taken out a double page. Just, you know, make sure that that is going to stick all around. If you're not going to sew around the edges, I will be doing that. Then glue it down right to the edges. You want this to be one piece of paper and work as one, so that's what you want to do. So do that. Make sure that that's, at the moment, I just need it to stick together, and I will stitch around it. Okay, now as far as folding is concerned, we're going to make an envelope that's rectangular. So what you want to do is turn it upside down. That way, when it's that way around and you want to turn there and you want to turn there, you're going to get the right the writing the correct way up. So if we have it like that and the writing's now not facing the reading way, you know, like that, now when I turn that down, the writing will be the right way, the bit that does stick through, and same with the bottom. So that's just a tip for you in case you're not sure. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to gauge this pretty much. Let's start with the top because I want a fair size. I think I'm going to turn down about a, what is that, 1 3/4 inches or 4 centimeters, and I'm going to turn up the bottom just so that we want it to be just underneath, no longer than the top flap. So let's just do that, and then we can just check that we're happy with that first. Yeah, that's going to cover that nicely if you have a look at the side, and that would be a nice size envelope really. Okay, so let's do that. Take your bone folder, just make sure it's got some nice creases there. So there we go, we've got that. And as you can see, the writing now is the right way up. So that's a tip to remember when you're wanting the writing to be the right way up. Now I'm going to cover a lot of this, so we're not going to really see it. And we're not going to see what goes on in the back anyway. I'm going to have this way in my journal anyway. All right, so there we have. Let's do a little bit of decorating now on the sides here. So we'll lift up that flap for the meantime. And I want to collage some scraps of paper. I've just pulled out a few here to put onto the bottom. Okay, now you can ink around the corners if you want. Let's do that. I've got my little brush here, my Distress ink. Just going to rub that over the sides and the top a bit. Doesn't matter if it goes onto that bit there. Not to worry, just give it a bit of a distress. Mine's very light. I like, this is antique linen. I don't want a lot of brown, but I mean everybody's different, you know. So there we go, we've got a little bit of that there. So now I'm going to just decorate this little section. I've got a couple of scraps that I've pulled out, and I'm going to have it in the lighter pastel pinks and things. Oh, that one I like. So let's just see, let's make sure you can see what I'm doing. Right, so this one's a bit long. Which part do I prefer? Yeah. So if we just tear it the side where, that way you don't get the white bit. Okay, so that will be there. I can always trim that off. Oh, let's put that underneath there, I think. I've got a bit of Edith Holden. It looks a bit long, but we can see how we want to do this. I like a bit of green in there somewhere. That's quite nice. Got pink and the green. So if I put that there, oh yeah, fits nicely too. So that's a bit of stroke of luck. Let's see, it's coming together. It's coming together. This is just a bit of playing around until you find something that you're happy with. So I'm just going to work it out more or less. I like that one overlapping there. Maybe we'll have that at the top and this over here. I'm not sure how long I want that at this point. That looks about right. I'm going to just take this and take that little bit off there. And you know, I'm so sad I'll probably end up keeping that. Right, so I pretty much like that. That's quite nice. That covers that section very well. So let's just move that off and see. This is the top bit. Taking it off in the layers now. So which one's underneath? That one's underneath there, and that one's... Okay, so we're going to start with this bit. So back with a glue stick, or any glue, as I said. Let's just use this piece here. It's just a spare piece of paper, so I don't have glue all over my tabletop. And I think that one goes there. I'm fitting the puzzle pieces back together now. Then I had this one over here, I think. So let's do that. How you all going? How you all doing this weekend? Well, I hope the weather's not too bad. A bit windy here today. So I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I think it's only a few weeks now, about 4 weeks till spring. So that's a good news, everyone, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm looking forward to a little bit of sun. That will be great. And I'm looking forward to a great curry later, so a bit too much sharing. Right, I do like a good curry, that's for sure. Right, I've got the house to myself this weekend. Isn't that awesome? Oh, Abby's lying here next to me on the floor with a stuffed toy in her mouth in case we decide to take it from her. We don't, but she's just... Don't know why she does that. Right, how does that look? That looks all right. Do we want to add anything more down there? I don't want to make it too busy. Just seeing if I've got anything that I want to put on there. Let's try. I've got a bit of a leaf here. I don't know if I am going to use this or not. I'll see. I don't know. If I do that, then I will want something to go up that way. And let me just see if I've got a green one. I have a green one. That was fortunate, but I might not do this. I'm just having a sort of I'll come back to that. It's not, I'm not sold on that. And this one, no. I think I'm happy with it as it is, actually. I put that one on the pink and this one on there, but too much faffing. Maybe I might do that, I don't know, we'll see at the end. Right, let's put that aside at the moment. It hasn't sold me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to trim off the excess on there. So let's just turn it over. There we go, that's nice and even. I'm going to sew around there, so that'll make sure that everything's as it should be. The paper is feeling really nice and firm, so that's awesome. For what we're going to do, we need it to be like that. Now, let's just tackle this little bit over there. I'm going to stitch around everywhere first, so let me do that. Okay, so, right. I'm going to sew first of all straight across there, because that's the bit that we won't be able to sew once I've attached it. So I'm going to do that quickly. Right, so that's straight across there. So I've done that straight across there now, and now what we're going to do is I'm going to stitch right around. Okay, so you're going to go there, do the top of the flap, and then right round back to the other side. So let's do that. Right, there we have it. So how's that? We've got a little pocket now with a nice sturdy envelope, and I've just done a little bit of a zigzag around there, right round like that. So that's looking great. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a decoration over there. Don't need that for the minute. So what I'm going to do here is going to be fast and quick. quick. I'm not going to put anything there. I think what I've done is I've made a bit of a ruffle over here. That's easily done if I just take a piece of some of my fabric ribbon that I've made out of my own fabric. Let me just unwind that for you. All you do is you're going to be pleating the fabric like that and sewing along. So as you're sewing, make another pleat and carry on sewing. That's all you're going to do there. If you want to know how to make fabric ribbon, it's as easy as tearing the fabric into strips. I just wind it onto these bobbins to keep it you know, easy for me to store. So that's what I do there. All right, so I've done that already. I've stitched that straight across there. You can do it with zigzag as well. So we've got that. I thought that went nicely with this. So I'm going to just do a little bit of a distress on the top flap here. So let's do that, you know, just above and below. This is a very light color, but it just takes away the white glare that you get from paper. All right, so that's that done. And I just want to round off these corners here, so let's just do that quickly. As you can see, just gives it a nice finish like that. Okay, and we can ink that. So I prefer to ink with my Toffee Crunch, so just give that a bit of a nice finish. Oh, we've been dealing with the Shawshank Redemption at college this week with the students for English. And gosh, what a good film. I love that film. I thoroughly enjoyed revisiting it. If you haven't seen that, it's a really great film to watch with Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. So good. Right, so now if you have a look there, you can see how light it is on the corners. It really is light, but I think it goes so nicely with the pastels. So what we're going to do now is, nearly dropped that on the floor, we're going to just place that onto the top flap like that. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put a bit of a cluster over there as well. So let's do that quickly. So just going to take my 3-in-1, let that run down, and I'm going to just put a bit of glue over there, over the bit where we're going to stick it. Okay, and then we're going to take this and stick it down nicely. I'm not too worried that it's not going to be right over to this end, because I said I'm going to be sticking a cluster down there in a sec, which I have already made. So what I've done here is I've made a bit of a cluster, if you can see that. You can see I've just taken little scraps of lace, more lace, a little bit of a doily, some fabric that I had, a little bit of cheesecloth that I've pulled out, and an old button which I've stitched and knotted at the top there. So I've put that all together in a little cluster, and we are going to put that over there. So I just want to find the right angle for it. I think that's going to be it. So let's stick that down, and that'll finish it off really nicely. So don't be liberal with the glue when you're sticking down a cluster. Okay, so I thought that was a good way to do it. Let's just make sure. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's best to work out how you want to put the cluster down before you glue. And then just make sure the bits that you haven't glued are actually going to lie as you want them. So just put on some more glue, without of course gluing over this flap. Probably better to do it like this. Okay, so that's it. Make sure all those bits stick down. Right. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Isn't that really pretty? Yeah, really pretty. I have no butterfly on here yet, but I'm sure it'll arrive at some point. Right, now what I want to do is, remember I said to you, I want to put it like that in my journal. So I'll show you what we're going to do. And I want to do a bit of a tuck spot over here. So lots of things you could do, but I'm going to just put a little bit more, just open that up a bit. Some more of the ink just around the edges. All like that. Okay, so now what we can do is a couple of things. But I think I'm going to make it quite simple, and put just a little tuck spot over here. I mean, you could get really involved, you really could, and I'm just looking here. If you wanted to, you could stick something like that on the back, you know, and have another little envelope with a tuck spot behind. You could do that. I'm not going to get involved with that. If you wanted to, I do have a tutorial on how to make that. You could put a kind of a thing like this and just make an angled tuck spot like that. You could you know, have a square like this, which you or let's do that. Actually, I'm going to try that. So I'm going to make a bit of a square thing here. So let's just measure that quickly with a pencil. I don't want it to go into that there. I'm making a little mark there, and I'm going to just cut that off quickly. Hopefully this is going to work, because, you know, I will say, normally I go and try this out before I do it. I haven't. I'm winging it. I'm winging it today. What have I done with my knife? I've lost that too. Right, here it is. So let's just line that up. Okay, so we've got a little bit of that scrap there. Let's just see how far that's going to come in. Right, now what you want to do, because I'm trying to think it through carefully, if this was my page here, and I want to put masking tape on the page so that it can flip out. What you probably would be easier to do is match it at the top there, and then match it halfway at the bottom there, and then, as you can see I've done, because you can see through it, which helps. And then you're going to just trim that off. We are going to then just rub our fingers over there so that it sticks through, and as you can see, it's a bit see-through, so that gives it a nice effect. And then we're going to attach it to the edge of our page. So let's just open that up, lift this up so you can line this all nice and straight. So if we wanted it there, for example, they are butted up against each other, and then run that over like that. Use your right, so we are just burnishing this nice and smooth over here. Right, so that's looking good. Okay, now we want to that'll work really well. Look at that, that's awesome. You can put other washi tape on there, but honestly it really is awesome as it is. So what we want to do now, what I want to do now, is I want to put a little bit of a tuck pocket here. So we got our little piece that we had. Is this the right way? Or, no, it's this way. And that's going to cover a piece of that masking tape anyway. I think I might trim it a little bit lower, ever so slightly. So let's just do that quickly. Just want to take a little bit off so it's not so high. So there we go. Do that, and that should fit. That's better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little bit of an edge. So I've got this punch here that's got a bit of a lacy edge, but you can use whatever you want, and you don't even have to use a punch. I'm going to just use it quickly. So let's just do that. There we go. So how cute is that? So sweet. Right. Okay. Grabbing the ink again. Just going to ink this a little bit on the edges. Make it stand out. Now you can do lots to this pocket before you even attach it, so that's something we might want to consider quickly. Make it a bit more interesting, and of course you don't have to, it's all up to you. So that's going to fit nicely over there. We might hit, this is where I might take these leaves actually and just untangle them and just put those without, not too close to this, because obviously when this folds back you don't want to have the leaves in the way. So let's try that. That might work a little bit. And then I think what I could do is, because you know life wouldn't be complete without me doing this, is put a little butterfly on there, and that would give it some nice definition, wouldn't it? So let's look in here. I've got some beautiful pink ones. That might work. Looks quite nice. I've got some, that's not quite the right pink. We got this one. That one so far is the winner. What else have I got in here? Gosh, I've collected these from all over. So many different kits. People always ask me, where do I get the butterflies from? Well, I can just tell you, lots of different kits, and I do have a lot of different kits. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. That looks quite nice. So I'm going to stick that all down. So let's do that. Now, we don't want to stick too close to the edge here. That's the fold line. Be very mindful of that. You want to have it more that way so that it doesn't get caught and cause that to be a problem. So let's stick that down. So hold it over here, because that's the bit side you don't want to glue, and then you're going to put a very thin skiff of glue right around there. So let's do that right around the edges. Oops. There we go. So this is the bit that we remember, more that way, that way, away from that fold, if you can, just ever so slightly from the fold line there. So I've left about 2 millimeters there, so we are well clear of that. And then just make sure that this is all nice and firmly attached, like that. Yeah. Okay, wipe away any glue that you might have coming out on the edges. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to just take our little leaves. This was a really cheap die cut that I had from eBay. I don't even know where it comes from. I think China. Have no idea what to tell you there. Right, so we're going to make sure that this one is over here. Remember, don't have leaves lapping over into that fold. That will be a problem when you need to fold this back. So there we go. Right, and then let's just put that one, as I said, move that one over a little bit. Oh, I'm going to pull this one up a bit and put the pink underneath. There we go. Keep clear of that. Just as well that didn't stick down as I intended at the time. Right, so now hopefully it is all sticking down, and I've steered clear of the fold line, so that's good. And now we just want to get hold of our butterfly. I always like to take the distress ink and just do this on the edges, because if you have any white bits showing, this is going to take them away. So do that. There we go. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to stick that like that over there. You can put some cheesecloth underneath that if you wanted to. We could go on forever. I'm terrible with things like that, you know. I just don't know when to stop with all the details. I just go on and on. Make a rod for myself. but you know, when you enjoy doing things and you just enjoy doing things, that's how it is, isn't it? Right, so I'll put a little drop of glue there. Let's find the lid for this. I don't think I need it anymore now. You could stick a button on there, but I do my old favorite, and I did drop these on the floor earlier. Everywhere, they went everywhere. So just terrible. I was cursing. Well, I didn't swear, but you know, I was frustrated, as you do. Alright, so I'm just going to grab one of these, hopefully, like that, and we are going to just put it over there. Right, and that will dry nicely. So let me just show you. Look what the desk looks like. While that is drying, I can just show you quickly what we've done with the butterfly. Let's just focus that in a bit. Okay, so there we go. Right. Right, so that's where we are. Now, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I've just got a couple of simple tags here. That I've just made from scraps of paper, nothing fancy. That could go nicely in there like that. So it's just to show you what we are doing. So look at that, how pretty is that? And then of course that's going to fold back that way, and that's going to fold back that way. Now you can put a paper clip on there, or you can make one of those circles. We could do that, but you would really need to do it before you put that section on there. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a paper clip on there with a little bit of a it'll be the last one I pick up, won't it? Right, so I just wanted a small one of these. You can do a number of things. But what I'm going to do is just something simple. I'm just going to find a little bit of ribbon. So let's open this up here. Look in my ribbon bag and find something that's going to match. So I quite like that. I'm just going to put a little bit of a tie on here, ever so small, just to make it a bit pretty. You get those nice circle ones, but I haven't seen them for a while anyway. I need to find out where they are, and that would work as well. Some of the nice novelty ones are really good. So there we go. That's the just making a little bit of some wings here, like that. And I'm just going to use that to keep that closed. Maybe not the greatest closure, but you know, it just gives it another little bit of a detail. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you can even, I saw Carol from Oak House Journals. She makes those beautiful flowers with press studs. You could put a press stud on the bottom there and a press stud on the top with a flower. That would work as well. I'll put Carol's link down if I remember. So I quite like that. So that's really cute. You've got a, you can just pull that off, stick some ephemera in there. You've got your nice finish. You've got a nice flip out there with your tuck spot and tags in there. Very pretty. And then you've got the rest of your journal page like that. So that's what we've got there for today. So I hope that you've enjoyed that. All right, so thank you very much, ladies, for sharing this with me. Always love to have you with me when I'm crafting. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please feel free to leave a comment or like the video. That would be lovely. I love responding to you all and seeing what you have to say. Let me know how you're doing and any projects that you're working on. And also, don't forget, we still have quite a few weeks until the 21st of March until my subscriber challenge for the friendship journal ends. So I will put the link in the description box below. Please have a look if you haven't already and consider entering. I'd love to have you all as part of my friendship journal. I am, as you know, raffling for a giveaway journal, and there are 2 other prizes as well. So please go and have a look and see. You know, you don't have to be a well-versed journaler. You might have only just started. It's not going to be judged on your abilities. It's just lovely to have a piece of you in my journal. So go and have a look. I'd love to see your creations. If you have any questions at all, you can find me on Instagram. I'm Angela.k50, or message me. I can always get in touch with you through my email. So let me know. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much for spending this time with me. I love and appreciate you all. Bye-bye.